Welcome to Whiskey Conversations. I'm Daniel Whittington. I'm here with the special guest, Irene Tan, the one, the only, the world famous. And Irene, I brought to pour you Elijah Craig
Awesome.
because you told me to.
I did.
And I always do what I'm told. And now my question for everybody has been every time, what is the whiskey that's like easily accessible, not necessarily a nerd whiskey, but something that you love or got you into it? And Irene was immediately like, that's Elijah Craig, end of story. Is this like your first, like this is what got me into whiskey, or was it first?
No, it's the first whiskey that just made sense for everything that I did after.
Oh, okay. Cheers to you. I'll take a sip of this one.
That's Elijah Craig. It's such a prominent nose for me that it can't be anything else but Elijah Craig.
So what was your first whiskey then?
Oh crap! I had to have been Johnny Walker Blue when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I was like, oh,
You were
that's
just
okay.
sipping on, wait, hold on. I was a kid, was just throwing back Johnny Walker Blue, no big deal.
Yeah, it was just one of those things I tried. I'm like, okay. And then that was the end of that. I wasn't like super impressed or whatever it was. It was a teenager then, actually. Yeah. And I was like, and then didn't drink whiskey until 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of young in the journey.
And so you were in the store at that point already. You were working in that store?
Yeah, I co-owned my first store.
Okay.
And that was when I was kind of thrown into whiskey. Like, here, you take care of the brown spirits. And I'm like, what the heck?
I've got to
is
learn.
that? Yeah.
And that was when Rex and I came and did a video. That was
Yes.
at that store.
Yes, that was at that store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, before.
But we did the video in 2019.
Right,
when
right.
I
Way later.
got my second store.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my first intro. So 2014, I would say February 2014 was my first time drinking a ton of different whiskeys for that whole year.
Yeah.
And Elijah Craig was one of the ones that I really gravitated to for bourbon because it's not the typical really sweet bourbon. At 94 proof, it had a little bit more. As you know, everybody knows everything I do is cask strength.
Yeah.
So this was a little bit better. Plus, it was like under $40 a bottle, available at most bars. So if there's anything, I'm like, okay, it's Elijah Craig. That's what I'm going to drink because I know it's not going to disappoint me.
Right.
Right. It's not super complex, but what I like about it is all the really kind of nice, the cherry notes that is not Robitussin.
Yeah, it really is. It's a nice cherry.
Yeah.
Like not overly candied.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because there is 10% rye in it, and that adds just a little hint of spice I really always look for in my whiskey. Just
Yeah.
a little something to kind of lift it and make it not just Jeremy sweet.
Well, when you showed up at the Somm School, that's when I found out that you were like this heavy-hitting barrel pick store owner that was famous for, I mean, I would argue you introduced Texas whiskey almost entirely on your own into the East Coast.
I did.
And originally through Garrison,
Yep.
because you were one of the first people doing Garrison barrel picks, maybe
Yeah.
the first.
The first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I sold the first about the first 3 barrels in Connecticut in the last kind of second half of the year, and immediately they sold another 27 barrels because why is she picking this Garrison barrel? We need to know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of wild. But then I don't know, Devil's River. I have Malamine Green. I have Lone Elm. I blended for Lone Elm. Trying to get Iron Root into my store one of these days.
We're slow rolling.
Yeah. And then all the other people that I work with.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of weird. I mean, it was like kind of very, very kind of kismet how it all happened, right? Because I came to whiskey school here not knowing much about it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I work in more distilleries in Texas than anywhere else in the country.
Why did
of the
you
world.
come to the whiskey school?
So I started in wine, and that's how I got into the business. 1,000 bottles of wine, and I was all right, I need a store. So then I got thrown into whiskey. I'm like, if I'm going to do this, if you know me well, you know that I never do anything half.
Yeah. That's
It's
real.
always 150. That's what I'm going to say on my epithet.
It's always 2.
Yeah, exactly. so I wanted to figure out how to learn more about it and more formalized education about it. And the only choices at the time were probably going to Scotland.
Yeah.
Which was
Or
not-
moonshine if you wanted to be a distiller.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I did the executive bourbon thing, which was kind of fun, and then I want to do more. And so I had noticed the school in 2015. I was very tempted to come and go, what if it's not real? That's like, that's a lot of money for it to not be real.
I don't want to be a real boy.
Yeah, so I waited, and sometimes I regret waiting, but mostly I don't. Because
No.
timing-wise, it was perfect for me to be here in 2018.
Yeah.
April 2018 when I took my first someone.
Yeah.
And just never looked back. And it's such a magical place. I cannot always wait. I'm like, okay, you got to come.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, you just want to come.
And there was a circle of whiskey distilleries that didn't believe in our program until Irene showed up because they all trusted Irene.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, if Irene is into it, it's probably fine. But you went from, so Rex and I visited, we did that whole episode on like things that are really crappy about stores.
Top 8 things that you hate about liquor stores.
Top 10 things you hate at a liquor store. And it was really fun. But what I loved most about it is that this openness that you brought to the table long before Psalm School, this idea that like you're there to guide people and to open doors for them, and you would just crack bottles. We discovered this when we went there. It's like someone, I've never had this. And I mean, we just reach over and take a bottle off a shelf and open it, and then pull out a glass from some random pocket and then be like, here, try it. Yeah. And I had never encountered anything like that before. And there was no like pressure to buy. There was just like, you should see these things. And I just thought that was cool. Did you just naturally do that? Did someone teach you that?
So that's the funny thing, right? So when I came to whiskey school here, things I learned about marketing, I go, oh, wait, I do a lot of those things already, which was really kind of cool. So it was very validating for me. That's why I kept coming back for more to go, am I missing anything? Should I be doing something better? And a lot of the times it's for me, I want to be able, it's so good I want to share it.
Yeah.
Right? And yes, we need to make money. That's not that it's secondary, right? I want to build that relationship first. And I think by sharing whiskey or whatever, gin, whatever it is, that all of a sudden you build this trust. And people always ask me, what's the price of that? And I'm like, I don't know, right? Especially now with 160 and thank God for Cliff. He'll go, I'll go look up the price. Because in our tasting room, which is as big as my store, my retail space is 1,000 square feet, lined with barrels. And at any given time, there's 65 to more barrels in there. And now more of my blends are going in there. And there's no pricing on there. Because I never want anybody to feel the pressure to go, oh, that's the $200 bottle. Yeah. Right? Taste it if you like it. But what I do is it's kind of cool. And well, we should teach that in marketing school. Because everybody shows up as a group of 10. I let no more than 12 in at a time when we're doing private tastings. So you all get a box. Because there's going to be many of you, and technically we're going to do 3 tastings, which allows you to taste 12 bottles. 4 open bottles at one per tasting.
Right.
So if you like it, put that bottle in the box because you are not going to remember.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then at the end of it all, if you need more boxes, we got lots of boxes. At the end of it all, then you go look, and then you know that everything that's in those boxes are things that you tried and you liked.
Right.
Then we can talk price.
Right.
Right.
And you don't have to buy everything in the box. It's just so you can remember.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of cool.
Dang, that's a great idea. I think we might have to steal that one. Have you ever gotten up in an argument with your previous co-owner because you were opening bottles and pouring them for people?
He never knew.
I love that answer so much.
Because we had a thing like this, like a little box somebody gave us. So we put bottles on top and on the bottom, and I locked it because I wasn't sure at the time the employees we had there. So they were all in there. At some point, I'm like, oh shit, I better take some of these home because I got to cycle them. And
that's really funny. So what got you into blending? Because you were all barrel pick and pouring, and
I got bored.
But when I first met you, you weren't blending at all.
I wasn't blending. No.
Yeah.
I wasn't blending. Because as with everybody else, and I'm trying to correct that perception of blending. Oh, blended stuff is not good. Or I did have Johnnie Walker Blue. No, it's okay. Older Johnnie Walker Blue definitely better than now. So I got into blending because I was buying so many single barrels, and like about 50-something barrels into it, I'm like, these are not as good as it could be. I think they're better blended. And in my mind, or not, like every fiber of my body wants to blend. I can't stop myself from blending. Like I blend my soup broths. He does that, right? But although my very first, going back 10 years from now in 2015, my very first barrel, so to speak, from my first store was the Angel's Envy blend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a full decade later,
it really
right?
is. So were you starting to get some barrel samples from, let's say Garrison, and you're like, this is almost there, but if I mix these 4 samples, I get the Garrison I wanted?
No, so with Garrison, it's really funny because they have a very specific profile. But I would buy, I buy 4 to 6 barrels at a time, and I would let people taste it. And I name all my barrels, all different names and stuff like that. And then I'm like, so sweet caramel with this other bitter chocolate note. Bittersweet chocolate, If you blend the two together, even better. And guess what? You sell 2 bottles instead.
Yeah, it's a 2 for the price of 1. I love it.
It's weird. Like in my mind, apparently what I'm doing is really marketing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't.
really
It doesn't come off that way because that is not my intention.
Shepherding, yeah.
Yeah, it's me going, hey, this is really good. This is really good. But I think it's missing a couple things. Let's put them together. And invariably, it's very rare that I make a blend that I go, oh, what was that? You know.
Well, you still have a badass store in Canterbury.
Yeah, I do.
And but now you've started your own whole blending journey specifically.
Yes. Yeah, so the Irene Tan Spirits Company, which is not a real thing, it's just a decorative label because, as you know, you can't be a producer and a retailer at the same time.
Yeah.
So I just contract with distilleries. They contract with me to create blends, and because technically my name sells, so if you put my name on the label, then I will show up and talk about it, and I get paid to do the blending.
Yeah, so you're like a sponsored, almost like a celebrity endorsement
Yeah.
of a blend that you happened to make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Versus I'm an actor or singer
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and let's make this. You know, me like a little. I'm coming from the ground up.
I love
blending.
it.
Yeah.
Do you still appreciate this to the level that
I do.
you did
So
back then?
I did take a second sip of it.
Yeah.
And it is just, it's, when you don't want anything super complicated, something comfortable that you're not going to make anybody feel like, oh, you know, you're this whiskey somm, you're this blender,
Yeah,
and you're drinking, you know, complex stuff. This just fits. And that's what I love about it. Plus, it's one of the things I always said I didn't want to buy cases and cases of stuff. I bought 12 cases, I think it was 10 or 12 cases of Elijah Craig small batch when it was 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's right.
In the old
Yeah, when
bottle.
they had before they removed it,
And
yeah.
so that kind of also got me on the journey of looking forward
Yeah.
to what else is new. Like people go, well, what do you think the whiskey world is going to be in the whatever, right? Forecasting.
Yeah.
That was me not knowing I was forecasting that
Oh,
it was
yeah.
going to go away.
Yeah.
Right? Because at first they did, then
hoarding this.
they put the stuff on the back and
Yeah.
they go, we have
And
10
then
cases.
eventually, yeah.
And they disappeared. So I still have 2 cases left of those bottles.
Oh, wow.
That I put out at my charity event every year. I go,
There you go.
Here's the bottle. It's still $40.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the beautiful thing about this. $40. I mean, come on.
Perfect.
Yeah. You could buy way more expensive whiskeys that don't taste
Well,
like this.
thank you
so.
for drinking it with me. And thank you for being here. Cheers to you.
Cheers to
And
you.
to you. We're really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Do you want to see more interesting conversations with interesting human beings like Irene Tan? Then like and subscribe.
Do it already.